Welcome back, everybody. It's Jared and Bob coming at you. This is Sarcasm Speaks that you're watching or listening to. So we're about to do another one of these like batch recordings. So when you guys are listening to this is probably going to be the last one that you hear that's like in real time. Just giving you guys a little bit of a heads up. Obviously, if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know, we sold the house and we're moving. So there's a lot of, I don't know, I want to say logistical and behind the scenes things, but there's not really that many. We just have to figure out what the fuck we're going to do.
I think it's moving parts is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. We need to come up with a plan and get everything. So we're going to just start recording some episodes here, which the pattern goes, the last time we did this, we nailed a couple things ahead of time. We got the Tiger Woods thing. We got something else too. Oh, the war in Syria. Well, not the war, but the fucking conflict with Syria. I feel like there was something else that we nailed too, as we were saying, oh, it's going to happen, and then it actually happened. But it happened like as the recordings came out. But we recorded them prior, so it was like we predicted the future.
So what you're saying is we're the smartest people ever.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's right.
I think that's right too. So yeah, this one is going to come out tomorrow on your Thursday, and then after that we'll be good. We'll be good. We are also. Let me check really quickly. We are. I have to pull up the Instagram here. See where we're at on the final, the grand finale.
When does it end?
We're 19 hours in. So what is that? We got 5 hours left. 8:30.
It's today at like 1:30.
Yeah, right around 1:30, 2 o'clock. Right now, as we record this with 5 hours to go, Rigatoni is in the lead over Tortellini with a 51% lead, 51 to 49.
So that's one vote.
It's literally one vote. We're looking at 19 to 18 on Rigatoni. So at one point yesterday, Rigatoni had a commanding lead, and then Tortellini got 4 votes in a row, and then they took a lead. But it's been really tight, actually. It's been pretty back and forth. So it's going to be interesting to see which is the superior pasta.
I know which one is.
I voted for Tortellini.
Tortellini is superior, but
Yeah.
what's going to win the vote's a different story.
But you realize if Rigatoni wins, we're never going to hear the end of it from Vinny.
Of course we will. He'll fucking forget. No, he won't. He doesn't forget anything.
No.
He doesn't forget anything, especially when it's him being a dickhead.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Rigatoni.
Yeah, anytime anyone eats pasta.
Yeah.
Oh, rigatoni?
Or instead of Dats, where's my calzone? It's going to be Dats, where's my rigatoni? You making my rigatoni over there because it's the best pasta ever? That's definitely going to be it. That is going to be Vinny. Also, shout out to Nick. I'll show you this now, but Nick sent a very comprehensive breakdown on cheeses for our cheese tournament. He broke it down by Italian, France, and Switzerland.
Oh my God.
The rest of Europe, and then the United States. A very
government cheese.
Very, very comprehensive breakdown. The numbers are just numbers there. They're not like seeded in any order, but we definitely have enough to run a cheese tournament. So,
yeah, I mean, it might not even need to be by category, or it can't be by country. There's too many. We might just run them. And if 4 soft cheeses make it to the final 4, then I guess soft cheeses are better than hard cheeses.
Yeah.
Let the people decide.
Yeah. So I'm going to...
big cheese guy.
Try and put that together. so he had messaged me. I forget what he said. There's something along the lines of like, oh, I found the text. He goes, listen, I know in my lifetime I'll never be a professional at anything. But if there's one thing I'm highly educated and seasoned with is deli meats and cheeses.
That is true.
It is very true.
That is true.
I also will never be a professional at anything, but I'm really good at being dumb.
So I saw a video of Brody Smith, who is the Frisbee trick shot guy.
Yeah.
and I guess he's a professional disc golfer now.
Sick.
And I was like looking at it, I'm like, wow, it's like all it takes. And like one of the kids at the gym, I think he's gonna go pro at some point, or if he doesn't go pro, he's gonna get a sponsorship, or I don't know how the fuck that works.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could definitely fucking do that. I go, I'm good enough at throwing a frisbee. I just got to learn like what all the fucking stupid things do because they walk around with these fucking backpacks of like discs. And then I remember disc golf is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Disc golf fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like it really sucks because you're throwing in this open fucking field.
Yep.
Ish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Relatively.
So your risk of losing a disc, high.
Yeah.
That being said, discs can't be cheap like golf balls.
Right.
So
they have like different discs for like what they want.
Yeah,
want it to. There's like a hook disc and
yeah, but there's like
a slice disc.
Yeah, so it's like each distance. It's like golf clubs.
Okay.
So it's not like it doesn't say like, oh, this is a 7-iron.
Right.
But this is like a something.
It's like a 10-ounce versus like a 12-ounce disc, and then
so yeah. Well, so there's drivers. And then there's drivers that curve both ways. But then you have drivers of different weights that will curve more, or spin rates and shit. I'm like,
Jesus
never
Christ.
mind. No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Kid at the gym is going to be a professional disc golfer.
He might be.
Wow.
He plays like every fucking day right now.
Really? Do I know him?
Probably not. But I don't know. I mean, he's only fucking 17.
Yeah.
Like he plays baseball, but he's a left-hander of average size with not a lot of velocity. I mean,
doesn't play first base.
no, he'll play high school baseball and that's it.
Yeah.
Cuz like he pitches fine now. I think he's like a reliever and throws like I think he's a junk ball pitcher.
Yeah.
Like he throws junk.
He's got good stuff.
He's got good action.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't have velocity and that there's no future for that. Because you get to college and everyone will just take you deep.
Right.
No matter how far your ball moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really likes it. I mean, he might get I guess there's a place out in Framingham or Fitchburg, the Fs. Those two towns are in my head are the exact same thing.
Yeah, they might as well be.
And in my head, I also think they're right next to each other, and it couldn't be any further.
Yeah, no, they're pretty far.
They're pretty
away
fucking
from
far
each
apart.
other. Yeah.
But neither of which is even remotely close to society. So
No.
actually, Framingham, I guess. I don't know. Some people try to claim that society.
Nah.
Route 9. Route 9 is not society.
Route 9 is fake life.
Route 9.
Once you leave, like, Brookline, you don't get real life until you get to Worcester.
Where do you pick up Route 9? Do you know?
In Boston.
No. Well, where would you pick it up from Medford? Route 2 to Route 9?
No, from Medford.
Because my father used to take Route 9. I think he used to go because he used to go to Southborough. I think you would take Route 2 to
You might go
95.
I was going to say if you're going to take Route 2, you're going to have to take 95.
So Route 2 to 95.
2 to 95 to
and then
9.
that's how you pick up 9?
Yeah.
So when driving to Southborough, you have to take... Because Route 2 is the worst highway ever, yes?
Yeah, it blows.
Okay. I hope Jones is listening. He loves Route 2.
Yeah.
So in order to get to Southborough from Medford, you have to take 2 of the worst roads probably in the state.
Yeah, I would say.
I would think so. Because Route 9, we
I
picked
don't know,
up in
Route
Worcester,
3,
right?
Route 3 fucking blows too.
Yeah, it's not awesome.
No.
Actually, 1, 2, 3, and 9,
Yeah.
they've got to be bottom 5.
Yeah.
Of like real roads. Like I don't want to hear about Route fucking 47 out in
Yeah.
Bernardston.
Or like 18. Like no one drives that part of the fucking world anyway. 18 does suck.
18 sucks, but like you shouldn't be. So me and Jones did this one time. We took Route 18 from Bridgewater to Weymouth. Mm-hmm. That sucked.
That sucks. Yeah.
That sucked dick.
Yeah.
But Route 18 isn't really a highway.
No.
Like Route 1, 2s and 1, 2s.
1, 2s. Your 1s and 2s
1, 2, 2s and a 3.
for Deshaun Watson.
They pretend to be highways,
Yes.
but they suck.
They
Like Route 2
they
has a
blow.
left-hand turn.
Yep.
Fuck that.
If you're on Route 2 long enough, you hit a fucking you hit a roundabout.
Or you hit a giant fucking chair.
There's just a random fucking rotary in Concord by the prison.
Yes. Yeah, no, I know that
It's
one.
like you're on highway. It's like highway. Now I'm in a rotary.
No, it goes highway, left-hand turn,
Yeah. Yep.
highway, rotary,
Yep.
and then it becomes like what you would consider like a regular like 18 or like not like a highway route, but a regular route at that point.
Right.
Fuck Route 2.
Yeah, Route 2 fucking blows.
I think the only thing that kept my father from blowing up the fucking car from making that drive to Southborough is that he used to leave the house at like 1:30 in the morning. He worked overnight.
Oh yeah.
No, he probably left at like 12:45 because we don't live close to Southborough.
No.
And he started at 2. He worked 2 to 11.
Wow. That is quite the fucking shift.
He loved it.
Well, yeah, I mean the entire world is not functioning, so you don't have to deal with bullshit.
Well, you've met him.
Yeah.
He loved working fucking overnight like that. And it wasn't even like overnight like 11 to 8. It was fucking 2 to whatever.
Yeah.
So then by the time he got home from work, he would just sleep all day
Yeah.
until like 8,
Yeah.
which good because you get home, yeah, whatever. That's probably why he doesn't sleep now.
Yeah.
That guy does not sleep.
Because his fucking
I don't know how long he worked out there.
his fucking clock is all fucked up from years of working 2 to 11.
Well, never mind that he probably has incredible sleep apnea, but like the guy just doesn't sleep
Yeah.
like at all.
That's just like that's got to be like a generational thing because my dad didn't sleep either. I mean, did hit him a lot good, but he also smoked like a fucking chimney. But he just never slept. He would like wake up. But you know what though? Now that I'm approaching 30, I'm starting to do that, and I'm like, oh, this kind of fucking blows. Like no matter what time I go to bed, I'm up between 6 and 6:30. Like I don't even know why the fuck I set an alarm anymore because I wake up before it.
Yeah.
Like most days, like I set my alarm for 6:30 and I'm up at 6 or I'm up at 5:45. And I'm like, what the fuck? This sucks. Like I want to sleep. I want to sleep an extra 45 minutes. What am I doing?
I think I'm okay like sleeping into the morning, but I don't sleep through the night. That's my big thing. But
Yeah.
I don't get up either, so I guess
Yeah, I do kind of wake up a bunch in the middle of the night.
I don't like, that's my big thing. I can usually fall asleep because of because I'm actually like active at work.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem and I work late, but I can't stay up through the night. So I could sleep in the morning because sometimes on Sunday I don't wake up till like 9,
Yeah.
but it's fucking hard for me to sleep through the night. But luckily I'm not like him where if I'm asleep in the bed and I start like rolling over, he would like come downstairs,
That's what my dad used to do.
go to the chair.
He used to get up in the middle of the night, go raid the fridge, go smoke a cigarette, go back to bed, wake up like maybe 2 hours later, go down, have another snack, smoke another cigarette, go back to bed. You know what I mean? Like he was just up all hours of the night. What was I going to say? Oh, I go through like random like rotations. So I'll have like 2 to 3 days where I just don't really sleep that well at all. And then on like the 3rd or the 4th day, because I'm so tired from not sleeping, I finally get a good night's sleep. So that would be like this morning. Like, so this is not because of my sleeping patterns. This is because on Sunday, Amy and I were building a dog bed, just like a frame out of like wood. So I got sawdust in my eye, and I had a piece of sawdust stuck in my eye for 2 days. And every time I moved my eyeball, it fucking hurt. So what happens when you're sleeping and you go into rapid eye movement sleep, which is REM sleep for you people that didn't know that? I fucking woke up
Like the band?
every night. Yeah. I woke up every fucking, like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour.
That's pretty awesome.
from Sunday and Monday. So I get to work yesterday and I'm just fucking exhausted. I'm like, I haven't slept in like 2 days. Like I'm in bed, but I'm just waking up every fucking couple hours because when my eyes move, it hurts because there's sawdust in it.
Well, if you've learned nothing, you should have raided the fridge and smoked a cigarette.
Yeah, I know. I should have. So then last night I was so fucking tired. I slept through the entire night. I didn't wake up once and I slept all the way to 6:45. And I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. Because I didn't set an alarm today because I didn't really have to wake up for anything. And I slept until 6:45. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I look at my Whoop and it's like, you spent 50% of your sleep in deep sleep. This might be because you're making up for lost deep sleep recently.
Wow,
and I'm like,
wow, that's such smart technology.
I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, huh, tell me something I didn't know.
Wow, that technology is so advanced and so smart. I wonder how they figured that out. Must have been waves through your wrist
Yeah.
to know that. I couldn't have figured that out.
Yeah.
Like on Monday when I was in bed before 9 p.m.
Yep.
And yesterday I barely got home by 9 p.m. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with a guy. It's like he was talking about like sleep trackers and whatever the fuck and Whoop and Garmin. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm always curious about like how many steps I take in a day because I think that would be hysterical.
Yeah.
And then like I'm curious about my sleep, but I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all the things that people recommend, I can't do.
Right.
So
Right. You work at, some days 5:30 in the morning.
I'm up at 5:20 every day. That's actually helped by waking up at the same time.
A consistent wake time, yeah, that helps a lot.
Now, every day I wake up, I still want to fucking scream.
Yeah.
Because every day I wake up, the only thought going through my head is screaming no. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Screaming.
No.
Like, yes, but yeah. So, but that helps getting up at the same time every day.
Yeah, it definitely does.
But it's like, oh, go to the bed at the same time every night. Yeah, that's not possible.
Yeah, because some days I work till 6, and then some days I work until 8:30, and I don't get home until 9.
Yep. It's like, so on Mondays, because that's like the earliest day I'm out, and I get more time to just like sit, then I fall asleep like on the couch, or I fall asleep like super early because I have time to wind down.
Right.
The other days I don't have that.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see though, when I don't have a 5-minute commute to work and I have like a 25-minute commute, seeing if that drive like helps me wind down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I come back and I'm still fucking wired.
Yeah. I mean, we live 5 minutes from the,
Yes.
what is it? Technically 7 minutes is
I
a
think it's
7-minute drive. Yeah.
7-minute drive.
Yeah.
Like wired.
Yeah.
And then never mind if something happened that pissed me off at work.
Right.
Whew,
Right.
hanging on to that for probably 3 more hours.
Yeah, I would think the extended commute would probably help.
Yeah, it might.
Because it's also driving is like one of those things too. Like I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the shower thing, like the shower principle, where like your brain works better when you're doing something like trivial, like meaningless. That's why you always come up with good ideas in the shower.
Yes.
Because you're doing something that gets you, it occupies your prefrontal cortex, so the rest of your brain can work differently. But driving is also one of those, like driving on the highway, I should say, because driving back roads, you have to actually pay attention.
That's all it is for me, is just
Yeah.
highway.
So highway driving, that could actually, I could see that potentially helping you, because your prefrontal cortex is focused on the road, but the rest of your brain is processing other shit.
Yeah.
I always come up with random fucking thoughts, like while I'm driving in the car, obviously in the shower, but that's that principle. I forget what the actual name of it is.
Call it the mellow principle until further notice.
Yeah. Yes. I like that.
The mellow principle of thought.
Yeah. You need to occupy your prefrontal cortex so the rest of your brain can do cool shit. There's actually a lot of research coming out now supporting psilocybin, like mushrooms.
Let's go.
Because that's essentially what happens, is that the psilocybin activates your prefrontal cortex in a different way so that the rest of your brain processes differently. They're using it to treat PTSD. There's like all this research that is coming out. There have been studies that have been going on for the last few years with veterans that come back from war that experience PTSD, and they're treating them with psilocybin. And the early studies that are now finishing and going through their conclusions are starting to realize that psilocybin is more effective than SSRIs and antidepressants and all this shit. So that's part of the reason why Colorado decriminalized mushrooms this past election, because they want to allow for more research and more stuff along the lines of psilocybin and all that shit.
So is psilocybin what makes you hallucinate?
Yes.
So obviously there has to be some level of dosage that
it's microdosing.
Doesn't?
Yeah. So there's people, this is another thing too. One of the books that I read, it's called Stealing Fire. But it talks about like flow states and like business and things like that. Like, you know, when you get into a flow state, like when you're working and you just hit like peak performance and you're just like nothing else in the world exists other than like what you're working on. It's like that. The whole book is like analyzing that and like different ways to achieve it and what actually is going on when that happens. Doesn't have to be work. It could be sports too, because they talk about that. It's called like in the zone, when you're in the zone, essentially. That's what the whole book explores. And they talk about how a lot of people in Silicon Valley microdose psilocybin every day. So there's a threshold where like you hit this much of psilocybin, and it's different for everybody depending on, you know, body size and your tolerance levels and shit. But like, if you hit a certain threshold, you're going to trip, and you're going to fucking trip balls and see colors and do all kinds of weird shit. But if you take a micro dose of whatever it is, like a couple micrograms maybe every day, it essentially works. I'm going to say like Adderall, but it's not. But just for layman's purposes, it's like taking Adderall. It helps you focus more. You can think clearer. Your creativity is higher. They've done all kinds of studies on this that show that. So that's why all these fucking giant big time CEOs and everything, they all microdose psilocybin like every day. So it's pretty interesting.
I got it. So moral of the story is take a bunch of shrooms before work.
Yeah. Eat a fistful of shrooms.
Received. Advice received. I heard you.
Just like the beginning of Super Troopers. Eat the entire bag and then go from there. But yeah, so that's that. What do we got that's going on? Oh, this is pretty cool, actually. So if you remember back in December, is that a song? If you remember the last of December, I don't know. I could have just made that up. But in December,
how many shrooms have you taken today?
Just one.
Here.
one shroom unit, please. When Trump passed the first stimulus bill, I guess the second one technically, he included a provision that the Pentagon had to release.
Yes, we talked about this.
Their UFO stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about this.
So, over the course of the last 3 months, the Pentagon has been like strategically dropping like random little tidbits of information here and there.
And not just on Fridays.
No. That we've been talking about. I don't know if mainstream media has been talking about, but last week, I believe, they did another drop. Could have been a Friday at 4 p.m. drop. But I forget what it was. Was it June? The end of June? That they have to release all of their information?
I genuinely don't remember.
I think it's roughly that. So they, instead of doing one massive dump, I think they've been strategically releasing things here and there. So either way, the Pentagon just released, the headline of this thing says, Pentagon ready to unveil secret report of UFOs breaking the sound barrier. So, That is, breaking the sound barrier means you're traveling faster than the speed of sound, which is really fucking fast. If you didn't know, pretty sure the only thing that travels faster than sound is light. If I just had to guess, I mean, I'm not a physicist, but I'm pretty sure the only thing faster than sound is light.
It's not smell.
Yeah, it's definitely not smell. So, former U.S. Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe has said that the country has secret evidence of UFOs breaking the sound barrier without a sonic boom. So this is the big part here, is what happens when you break the sound barrier is called a sonic boom. It's really fucking loud because you are releasing so much energy to go faster than sound that energy creates a massive boom, and it's really fucking loud. So they have evidence of UFOs breaking the sound barrier without causing a sonic boom, which is fucking wild. Because that would theoretically, now to my stupid brain, that would theoretically mean that they have a totally different propulsion system that doesn't rely on I should say the three laws of physics to be PC. Because obviously, like,
since when have we been PC?
Yeah, we're not. I'm just fucking around. But Newton's third law, every action has an equal opposite reaction. Like, that's how things move. Like, your car, for example, has a combustion engine. So there's combustion. There's a series of like small little explosions that happen inside of your engine that create energy that forces that energy out to the wheels of the car and make the car turn. So now you're driving. Same thing with a rocket. Like when you watch a massive fucking space launch, like there's millions, if not billions of tons of fucking fuel that's burning and exploding, that's shooting straight down, that pushes the rocket up.
Pretty sure that's not how rockets work.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different because some guy back in the day was white.
Yeah. So that's one of Newton's laws. I think it's Newton's third law. That's how things move. But if this UFO can break a sound barrier without causing a sonic boom, that means there's no energy release, which means they're not using their propulsion system isn't based off of energy. Now, I've heard this before in podcasts. And then if anyone is familiar with this, there's the Commander David Fravor, the Tic Tac video, where he caught this thing on his radar and his plane, and it looked like a little Tic Tac. It was far away, and I think they said it dropped 60,000 feet in like a second. It was moving in all kinds of weird directions, and he deduced, and other people have assumed, that it was a propulsion system based off of gravity manipulation. So instead of, like I said, like burning a fuel to cause a thing for propulsion, it's gravity based. So it's like altering gravity and using gravity to move around, which is fucking wild because we might actually get that. Like the government might know that already, and they might drop this and be like, yeah, there's UFOs that fly around using gravity instead of fuel.
How did Han Solo used to jump to hyperspace? Because I don't remember that causing a sonic boom.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically it would have.
I didn't see one. Did you see one?
No, I didn't either.
There's 9 movies, a lot of hours, a lot of hyperspace jumps. Didn't see any booms.
Although you're also in space, which is a vacuum, so there might not be a boom because there's no sound in space. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's weird like that.
You don't know that.
I don't. I've never been to space. But from what I've heard, there's no sound in space.
Ever met anyone who's been there?
No.
Didn't think so.
Nope.
Didn't think so.
Space is fake. You heard it here first.
Didn't think so. Have you ever met someone who's seen it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm really interested to see what this UFO report is. Because then that totally changes everything. Because if we're able to prove that UFOs maneuver using gravity instead of like fuel, then it's like, well, why can't we do that?
Because we're too stupid.
Well, yeah, but like, why can't we like find something and reverse engineer it? Or like, once we know it's possible, we can figure it out. It's the whole fucking thing back in, what is it, the 70s?
You are giving humans way too much credit.
There are some really smart and good humans out there that can figure it out. It's like the...
Smart and good?
Yes. Back in
They're not going to... Okay, someone who's smart and good isn't going to have access to the resources they need. They either need to be morally flexible...
they could work for NASA.
Or they could not be that smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then someone at NASA...
Or they probably work for Tesla or SpaceX, to be honest.
That's actually a good example.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
Because NASA is still a government thing.
Yeah, it's probably SpaceX.
And if some idiot in the government's like, let's not have this come out, then it ain't coming out.
Yeah.
Regardless of how smart NASA is.
So it's one of those things where, like back in the 70s, I think it was the 70s, remember they used to say that it was impossible for humans to break a 4-minute mile. You couldn't do it. It's physically impossible. No one can ever do it because no one had ever done it. And then finally someone did it. Someone broke a 4-minute mile.
And what was that, a week later?
And then in the next 12 months, there was like 18 people that broke a 4-minute mile.
It's like the 1,000-yard shuttle at work. No one had ever heard of it.
Right.
So we had a record for the 1,000-yard shuttle because exactly one person, N equals 1, ran it.
Yeah.
And then the next kid smoked it by like 40 seconds.
It's the same idea. So like if you say that you can't have a propulsion system based on gravity because it's impossible, then no one's ever going to be able to do it.
See, I didn't say impossible.
But once you're able to prove, like if the government comes out and proves that their propulsion system is based off of gravity, it's only a matter of time before SpaceX figures it out. It's the same idea. It's the same principle. I still think it's like once you learn that it is possible, then someone's going to do it.
I just feel like humans will fuck it up.
Well, I mean, inevitably they will, but
no, because again, something will fuck it up with whether it's like a fuel company or
well, I'm saying the technology will be discovered. Once it's discovered and used, like. That's that. Like I don't
trust the government.
We've had electric cars since cars existed.
Yeah, probably just running on like massive batteries.
Yeah, the electric vehicle has existed forever, but because it's back with like Henry Ford, like was so successful, and then gas companies became successful because cars needed gas, so gas became obviously more desirable and things like that, and oil. They just lobbied to the government to not have electric vehicles be important, so they weren't. So it's the same idea.
That's kind of that's kind of my point.
Yeah, no, I get it. I know exactly. That's exactly what you're saying, and I get it. But right now we don't have the technology at all because we don't think it's possible. So what I'm saying is, once we find out that it is possible, we will eventually come up with the technology and we'll figure it out. From there, where it goes, I don't know.
I'd like to go back to your previous point where someone already knows, because if they're releasing this info to us, that means they've had it for a long time.
Oh yeah,
which means they've had a long time to be working on this.
Yep.
And if your premise is correct, once they know it's possible, they can figure it out.
Yeah,
that means they probably already have.
Right, the government already has. I forget who said it,
but who is it going to fuck over in the process?
Yeah, I forget who said it. It was in one of the podcasts I was listening to, and they said any technology that you have right now, the government had it 15 years ago. And the government is like 15 years ahead of the public. So they already have crazy fucking technology that no one knows. Did I ever tell you the story of back when I was on the road, like working in families' homes? I was with a family in North Andover.
I think I remember this guy.
And the dad worked for some weird government contracting company. And he told me that the government doesn't need to go inside your house anymore to figure things out and what's going on. He told me, this was probably 3 years ago, that they have the technology to drive past your house, and if your window is open and they can see through the window, they have the technology to look at the light projection on the wall behind you and turn that into exactly what your computer screen is. Like, you could turn your computer all the way around so the back of it is facing your front window. But if they can get through and they can see the light reflecting on the wall behind you, they can reconfigure it and have your fucking computer screen. So you think no one can see your computer screen when it's on because it's facing away from the window? No. Government can still figure it out. And I was like, holy shit. And he goes, yeah, if you're sitting on your phone and your phone is projecting light onto anything, they can reconfigure it and see exactly what you're looking at on your phone. And then, so that was 3 years ago. And now I just heard Dan Holloway talking on the Drinking Bros podcast. So obviously he used to work in government and military. He said that the government has the technology from their satellites to watch you walk, and they can tell exactly who you are by your gait. So they watch your gait, and they're like, yep, Jared Mello. That's Jared Mello. Like, I could dress up as fucking someone totally different, and the way I walk is recorded by satellites, and they can find me on a satellite, see how I'm walking, and be like, yep, that's him. That's me. That's the kind of crazy fucking technology that the government
But I'm going to
has.
put a piece of tape over my phone.
Yeah.
So that they can't see me through the camera.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Then they'll never know what I'm up to.
Anybody that thinks that they're going to fucking one-up the government, you're a fucking dumbass. The only way you can do it is to completely go off the grid and move to like the middle of nowhere and like Montana, Wyoming, and quite literally live off the land. Like, never leave your compound and go to a fucking store. Because there's those people that are like, oh, I'm going to move to the Montana in the woods. And it's like, cool, you live in the woods in Montana, but you still go to Walmart every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So you're on the grid. Like, people know, like, if you had to be found in some dire consequence, like, the government could find you. So it's one of those things where it's like, you think that you're going to one up this fucking giant thing that is the government, but they, like I said, they're 15 years ahead of anything that we have now.
And if you need a frame of reference for how long or how things advance over 15 years, iPhones did not exist 15 years ago.
Correct. Which is fucking wild.
15 years ago did not exist.
The iPhone came out in 2008.
I think it was 2007. I think it was 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Now what does everybody have?
Yep.
Except me.
So, yeah, theoretically, that would be like if we are the government and everyone else is still working off of like the Sidekick and the chocolate.
Yep.
But we have iPhone 11, or I guess 12s are out now? The iPhone 12. It would be like comparing the iPhone 12 to the fucking Sidekick. That is the difference between us and the government, which is fucking insane. We have cars that drive themselves now. In 2007, like, you ever see
Power
like,
windows were still a question.
You ever see a 2007 Chevy Tahoe? That thing ain't great.
Back then, it was not certain that you had power windows in your car.
Correct. Yeah. Now we have cars that drive themselves.
Yeah. Back then, you used to actually have to turn around and look out the back window.
Yeah.
To back out of something.
Right.
I don't even know how the fuck I would do that now. I haven't looked over my shoulder and fucking...
I have to with the van.
Oh.
But not my car, though.
I haven't looked over my shoulder in so fucking long.
Yeah.
Which the other thing, too, is it's like, okay, so I know it's like... They're obviously parts of each other. Mm-hmm. So I drive a fucking Corolla, small car, cheap car. Mm-hmm. The fucking rear window is really, really small.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's because there's the camera. So you don't really need to see out.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that has to be it. I mean, because my old car, like the back window was massive and pitched like way down.
Yeah.
You cannot really see out of these things anymore.
No.
You don't have to. But
Yeah, because you're getting to the point where you don't really have to. Like my car, I have the backup camera. I have the fucking light up things on the side that tell me when cars are next to me. I have the my car. I have the fucking lane assist and the smart cruise control. So like, if I can set the distance between me and the car in front of me, and if my cruise control is set to 75, but the car in front of me is doing 68, it automatically slows down to 68 and keeps like whatever 2 car lengths between us. Like it keeps me in between the lines because it's got the lane assist. It's fucking crazy. And then you look at a Tesla that literally drives itself. You can fucking take a nap in the front seat.
Imagine what the government has.
I can't even fathom.
Cars that fly.
Cars that propel themselves using gravity instead of fuel. Because that would completely change the game, too. If you could create vehicles that are gravity propulsed versus fuel, like now all of a sudden you don't need oil. You don't need gas.
Would that like tank the economy?
No, we just shift into... It's the whole idea behind electric cars, and people. That's the argument. People are like, "Well, if we switch to all electric cars, it'll tank the economy because of all the oil." It's like, no. You just swap out one for one. So now lithium becomes the new oil. So now, like, the oil economy might tank,
yeah,
but the lithium economy goes through the fucking roof, and it becomes the new oil. You know what I mean? Like, you just swap out one thing for one thing.
True.
So I don't know.
Well, so I guess with gravity, though, because no one owns...
Gravity's not a thing.
No one owns gravity.
Right, but it would be like the computer systems that do it. You know what I mean? Like it would be...
The technology.
The technology
Gotcha.
would become the new oil. You know? Things like that.
I think we should go back to coal-fired.
But the planet...
Yeah, but then the coal industry will be back.
Yeah. It will bring so many jobs back to West Virginia.
You know how many 12-year-olds will get to work again?
The 12-year-old unemployment rate will fucking drop.
They're like they can fit in the tight areas.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. We can bring back factories too.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
These kids would be better off if they worked.
It'll teach them life lessons.
Well, no, they're all so fucking smart, but so fucking dumb at the same time.
Yeah, kids are so fucking stupid. Well, speaking of stupid kids, there is... I'm curious to see get your thoughts on this. Columbia University, so they're Ivy, right? Columbia? Yep. Yeah. So they are so anti-racist. They are going to have 6 different graduation ceremonies based off of race, ethnicity, and other self-identifying factors of undergraduate students. So now we are going to have 6 graduations for natives, Asians, Latino, that's racist, it should be Latinx, and black graduations, as well as a lavender graduation for the LGBTQAI plus community, and a ceremony for low-income students. So we have 6 different graduations now that you get to choose from for Native, Asian, Latino, Black, Lavender, or low income.
All right, so I really hate to do this. Really hate to do this. Where do white people go?
No one cares about white people.
That's fine, and I don't listen. I don't blame them.
We have to hate white people. Don't you know that?
Again, that's so. Do they just not get a graduation?
Probably.
Because if there's 6 and all of those things are the criteria, there is no. So I know what I assume they're doing. There must be just like a graduation ceremony, because you can't just say this is the white ceremony,
right?
Because all this is just like. It's discrimination, but it's like reverse discrimination.
What it is discrimination. It is exactly discrimination. It is segregation. Like you think that you're so anti-racist, you're actually being racist.
Yeah. And I'm not
By separating groups by their ethnicity and sexual orientation, if fucking anybody, if Donald Trump did that, or if any Republican proposed that idea, they would be dragged through the streets as a racist and a bigot and Hitler. But because it comes from a leftist liberal university, they're hailed as geniuses. Yes, this is what we have to do. We need 6 different graduations, one specific for natives, one specific for Asians, one only for black people, one only for Latinos, one only for lavender community, and one only for low-income students. Like, no.
You know what this is going to do, right?
What you're doing is racist.
You do know what this is going to do, right?
It's going to go all through the entire country.
And what's going to happen if this gets adopted, like this type of shit?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
It's going to make for a great South Park episode.
True. We're just going to go back to 1960.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to be.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
Because especially the low income one, that is fucking hysterical.
Right.
Because who the fuck is going to sit there and go, well, I quite literally have any option.
Yeah.
Any option. I have any option. Why the fuck would I pick the low income one?
Right. Maybe you're white. You're white and you're poor.
Hey, at Columbia?
Yeah, I know.
White and poor? Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't
either.
think that's possible.
No.
So that takes white people out of the low income, therefore.
Right.
But what you're going to get, think about this. 1960s Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep.
Oh. We have an Asian, a black, and a white graduation. Like, oh, that's disgusting. That's Jim Crow laws.
Yes. If we sat here with a random person that didn't know this and we said, hey, I want you to guess what year it is. Columbia University has 6 different graduations based off of race and sexual orientation and income. And you just found a random person on the street, said, what year is this headline from?
Yeah.
Someone would most likely probably say in the 50s or the 60s.
Yeah, Jim Crow.
Yeah, they'd be like, 1958. Nope. 2021.
Yep.
Columbia University has 6 different graduations based off of ethnicity and sexual orientation.
Well, the other thing too is, and this one will be real interesting, and I'm gonna leap a little bit because I know, and again, so making a statement. Obviously, it's not everybody.
Yeah.
I know that in general, black people do not like Asian people because Asian people like to claim the same, I guess, oppression that black people have, and black people don't view that as the same.
Right, which is true.
Right, it is.
It is very true. We never had Asian slaves.
No, but we did
I
have...
can't say never, but...
Well, we had Asian internment camps.
Japanese.
Is Japan not Asia?
Well, no, I mean, like, we didn't put, like, Vietnamese people in internment camps, I don't think.
Okay. Japan is in Asia. I said Asian internment camps.
Yeah.
And I'm sure back then, 1940s, I'm sure a couple slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
Based on appearance.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Come on.
Yeah.
I ain't Japanese. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
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 But what that does, it's the same thing.
Right.
So now, if there is someone, say Tiger Woods graduates from Columbia.
Yeah. Which one does he go to? He's black and Asian.
Yep. And it's like he gets to choose, but one side might say, nah, you can't come here.
Yeah.
Or like if he chooses to go to Asian side, Asian be like, nah, they're like, no, you can't come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, by doing this is so woke that you've actually set everybody back 60 years, if not more.
Yep. Absolutely. I 100% agree.
That's my take on it. Because again, what I'm assuming is they probably have the 6 graduations for those categories and then just like a general graduation.
Right. Which also, granted, I didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I did go to college twice. And I fucking hated both graduations.
I didn't even go to my master's one.
I didn't want to go to either of them. I wanted to skip both of them.
And that's the thing is like your general graduation.
Like, who wants to go to graduation?
Because
it's so fucking boring. It's 4 hours that you just sit there and do nothing.
Whatever. it's a waste of time going, but people go. You know, not for nothing, the general graduation is actually a pretty good platform to show your diversity.
Yeah.
Because with the graduation, no one really cares what you do, where, whatever. So like you can personalize like your cap.
Right.
You can do something with that.
Right.
Different groups, different organizations, they have different things that you can wear.
Yeah, like different sashes.
Yeah, the sashes or the thing around the neck. Like,
Yep.
there are things that you can have, and you get to show off, hey, I was a part of the African club.
Right.
Here's the thing, because I'm of African descent. It's
Right.
like whatever. That's the best way to show off diversity.
Right. Now there's almost zero diversity.
Well, you've actually
these-
taken all diversity away.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those things that's not just stupid. It's actually more damaging than anything else.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is what happens when you have these people that live in these like crazy echo chambers where they just think that they have to virtue signal and do all this stupid bullshit. You know what I mean?
That's fucking.
Where it's like,
The other thing too is
we
that
need to show people that we care. And then someone else goes, yeah, absolutely. We do care. How can we do that? Well, fuck white people. Let's create a specific graduation for each group and let's exclude white people. And granted, the people that probably came up with this idea were probably white.
Most likely. Because let's also remember too, Columbia is not Dartmouth College. It's in Harlem.
Right.
Harlem is diverse. New Hampshire is not.
Correct.
So if they wanted to if you wanted to actually listen to your student body in neighboring area, and you went to people and said, hey, what's the best way to display or celebrate the diversity of our student body in graduation? Their answer would not be separate everyone by group.
Yep. Pretty certain.
In host different ceremonies.
Yeah. Pretty certain that's not what they would choose. But now, because they've done it, now it's automatically going to be something that people want because they think it's good. Because this is what happens when you only listen
Black
to
restaurants, white restaurants. This detail was one of the most damaging things in United States history.
Yes.
This is why we're here. We're here because of shit like this.
Yeah. And now
But
they
the
want
only
to
problem-
they want to go back to it.
The problem is the people who did it the first time were racist, predominantly Southerners.
Yes.
Now it's the woke people, but they're doing the same action.
Yes.
But because they're woke or
Yeah.
progressive,
Yeah.
it's not getting bastardized the way that it used to, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And again, I want to be clear that I'm not championing that like, oh, white people need what. No. I'm not doing that.
No.
What I'm saying is breaking people down by their fucking whatever they identify as is a real slippery slope.
Very slippery.
Real slippery. Because this is another one that I've known, at least from people in Medford. African Americans do not like Haitians.
Right.
They also don't like Dominicans, but that's going to become a thing.
Yeah.
If a Haitian kid wants to go to the African American graduation, he's probably going to be allowed to, and he's probably going to be fucking subject to God knows what.
Yeah.
Because nothing changes. Like, nothing, like, it's not like people are going to look at it and be like, oh, I'm accepting now because it's separate graduation. There's no white people here, so I'm going to be accepting. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fucking that's bad. That is bad.
That is very
Like
bad.
we've covered some dumb shit.
Yeah.
That's teetering on concerning.
Yes. It's very concerning.
That's real concerning.
Yeah. especially
And not from a white perspective.
well, especially because it comes from an Ivy League school. If this were UMass Dartmouth that was doing this, whatever. It's UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah, no one cares.
Like, no one gives a shit.
No one's paying attention.
But because it's an Ivy League school
People
and
pay
it's
attention.
Columbia, now UMass Dartmouth might do the same thing because, well, an Ivy League school did it. You know what I mean? Or these like random schools might do the same thing. Well, the Ivies are doing it.
Yeah, and then
we want to be like the Ivies.
And then what happens when Robert E. Lee fucking University does it?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Or UAB.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's okay because it's Columbia.
And then maybe you have your general graduation. Maybe you have your black graduation. You have your Asian graduation. Something goes wrong at one of those other ones. Mm-hmm. Oh, there was no this at the Asian graduation. Oh, the white graduation got this.
Yep.
But the black graduation didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've opened up a can of fucking worms that you cannot fucking close.
Or I could see this happening too, where, at the Asian graduation, they get Tom Hanks to come in and do a speech, and then they get ripped apart because they didn't have an Asian person come in and do the commencement speech. You know what I mean? Shit like that is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's going to be comedy, though. It's great
There's
comedy.
no way that someone had... Dude, okay. Columbia, Ivy League. I thought smart people went there, and smart people taught there.
You would think that.
You would think that.
But smart people...
I dropped out of school. It's not for smart people.
Yeah. Smart people, unfortunately, today are not so smart. Because what's happening is they might have high IQs.
Well, no, I also differentiate. I differentiate educated and smart. Yeah. I thought genuinely smart people went to Ivy League schools.
No, just educated people. Because this is the stupid shit that we're getting.
This is bad.
And this is what it's turning into. You have to show everyone how great you are. You can pick any fucking example. This is why comedy is great right now. For anyone that wants to be a comedian or get in, this is fucking awesome. Because it's the same idea as when they came out and said, when Fauci came out and said you should wear 2 masks. 1 mask is good, 2 masks is great. 3 masks, you're phenomenal. It's like, well, why not walk around wearing 5 masks? But he also said if you're vaccinated, you still should wear 2 masks. What are we doing?
Why?
Because you want to, so people are going around wearing multiple masks to show other people, look how good of a person I am for wearing more than 1 mask. I care about people because I wear 2 masks. That's all it is. It's like wearing a fucking badge of honor for these fucking dumb fucks. Where it's like, look how much I care. Look how good of a person I am. It is by definition virtue signaling.
Well, actually, that's pretty good though, because everyone will be very clear how much of a piece of shit I am when I walk through a parking lot and I don't even wear one. Yeah, I wear one when I go in the store.
I do the exact same thing.
I'm not sure why, but for some reason, 1 year into this, my mind seems to be slipping because there's been a couple times I've walked into a store with the thing around my neck.
Yeah.
And I forget to fucking pull it up. And I'm like, dude, it's been a year. How are you fucking this up?
Yeah.
Like it should be automatic.
I did that 2 weeks ago. I forget.
I walked into a Wegmans not wearing one.
Where did I go?
On a fucking weekend.
Where did I walk in? Amy and I went into some store like 2 weeks ago, and I walked into the store without the mask. And then she turned and goes, "Do you have your mask?" And I was like, "Oh, shit. It was a Chipotle." I walked into a Chipotle without a mask. And I was like, "Oh, shit. I forgot to put my fucking mask on." And I'm like looking through my pockets, and I find it, and I put it on. But I kept walking through the Chipotle. I'm not going to turn around, go outside, look for my mask, put it on, come back inside.
I walked into the Wegmans with it in my hand.
Yeah.
I was holding it.
Yeah.
In my hand.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
There was a whole thing that
so therefore people should know I fucking suck.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a whole thing recently. There was a back and forth, I guess, on the Senate floor between Rand Paul and Fauci. They were going at
this was actually somewhat interesting, right?
Yeah, like Rand Paul was giving him the rundown, and Fauci like couldn't come up with answers. He was like talking in circles.
Yeah.
And at one point, Rand Paul goes, "What you're doing," I'm paraphrasing, but he said like, "What you need to do is if you want people to get the vaccine, you need to tell them once they're vaccinated, they can stop wearing masks." Because what you're doing by telling them they need to get vaccinated and then also wear 2 masks now,
What's the point?
there's no incentive. People aren't going to want to do it. You need to give them, and he was like, well, yeah, well, like he couldn't answer that. Like, and
Yeah,
obviously
not for nothing.
News media outlets didn't cover that.
Well, certain ones did.
Certain ones did. Yeah.
Because my guy in the morning was quick to tell me that one.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, as humans and Americans, we fucking suck. Like, we really do.
Yeah.
So people think like just for the good of society, you're going to get the vaccine. No, people are getting the vaccine so they can go travel and not have to deal with the bullshit.
Right.
So that they can go do the things that they want to do when they want to do them.
Right.
No one's getting the vaccine for the greater good.
No, they're doing it because they want life to be normal and they want to do whatever they want to do on their own terms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. You're hearing some people like scheduling their appointments, like rushing them in because they have a vacation. They're going away.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do
Right.
with acting for one another
Right.
or getting past the pandemic.
Right.
People are looking like at this like, this is how I can go to Florida
Yep.
and come back like no problem.
Yep.
Or I'm going to go on a trip and I'll feel better if I'm vaccinated. Like that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, 2 masks is better.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. So I was listening to
You should be vaccinated and wear a mask.
Joe Rogan.
luck.
Joe Rogan was talking about this on one of his podcasts from last week, and he was like, "Why don't you just wear fucking 5 masks? Why don't you just?" He goes, "Why don't you all wear 5 masks and I'll wear none? If you really want to be protected, you wear 5 masks and I won't wear any, and then you're protected."
Just wear a fucking scuba helmet.
Yeah, yeah. It was great. It was Jim Brewer actually was on with Rogan.
I like Jim Brewer.
Yeah. And they were going back, and that's how it came up. And that's what Rogan said. He goes, "Why don't these people that really care, they just wear 5 masks and I'll wear 0.
Whoa, it's not about you, Joe.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe. It's not about you. You're going to kill my grandmother with talk like that.
Not if she wears 5 masks. It actually made me really like Jim Brewer even more. Like, I've always liked Jim Brewer, but like hearing him on Rogan actually made me like him even more. He actually had some like, thoughtful ideas.
Yeah, he's not just the fucking
Yeah.
Jerry Garcia in the bag, man.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You want to start wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
All right. So you know how we already discussed that the government's like a million steps ahead of you?
Yeah.
Okay. So business partner today goes, "Oh, did you get your stimulus money?" I go, "I don't know. It gets mailed to my parents' house because that's where my taxes have been filed for the last 6 years because I've moved like fucking 4 times." I just keep it in Medford. And I go, and the guy, like my accountant even asked, he goes, "Oh, should this say Mansfield?" I go, "Honestly, man, I'm moving. Just keep it
Yeah.
Medford." He goes, oh, well, mine just hit the bank account or my bank account. I go, "How?" Because to this point, because me and him don't get tax returns, we don't have a bank account on file with the federal government.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm like trying to think. I'm like, did you pay anything? Like how would that happen? Lo and behold, go to my checking account, $1,400 deposit. And like, I'm not trying to be like a dick here or like trying to like play something. The federal government generally has not received my bank account info from me because I don't receive a tax return. When I file my taxes, I don't put a bank account on there because I don't receive any money.
Right.
they generally wouldn't have my account from me.
Right.
From me.
Right.
And the first 2 stimulus checks were both paper checks.
That you got, yeah.
I didn't get them deposited because
Right.
it wouldn't let me. Even though I tried to input it to get it direct deposited,
Right.
they were paper checks.
Right.
So 2 things. 1, they know everything.
They know everything.
Because they put it into my checking account, not my savings, not the joint one with you
Right.
for the house, my checking account. They didn't send me a paper check. They didn't ask me to provide a routing number, bank, whatever. They just put it in there. So, if you think you're going to outsmart them, good fucking luck.
Yep.
Good fucking luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm smarter than the government. No, you're not.
That being said, why the fuck did I receive 2 paper checks the first 2 times? Full knowing that they could just put it in my bank account.
Yeah. Yep.
Why?
Because on the other side of that, it is the federal government. And although they have access to all information,
It's whether they choose to use it or not.
yeah, they're really bad at actually executing tasks.
They're massively inefficient.
So it took them a year to sift through their information to then act accordingly.
Yeah, well, the easiest way is it's like, all right, well, we have everyone's like taxpayer info. We'll just use the bank account on file.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, you don't have mine because again, I don't give you one because
Right.
I don't receive a return.
Right.
And even like I don't pay with. Oh, I do cut them a check. Maybe that's how they got it. Or they just look you up.
Yeah.
Because it's not hard. It's all by social. So
Right.
it's like Citizens Bank. So when I go to Citizens Bank, if I ever needed to give my social security to like pull up accounts, they're gonna pull up like fucking 24 accounts.
Well, the IRS has authority to pull up all of your accounts, I would imagine, because it's the same idea.
Dude,
if
they could
you,
fucking spend the money in your account if they wanted to.
if you don't pay your taxes, the IRS will automatically start to withdraw that money from your paychecks, from your checking account. If you say they have access, you don't have to give it to them.
They'll take it.
They
They'll
have
get it, don't worry.
access to all of your shit.
It's like, oh, do I need to cut you a check? Nope, we'll take it.
Yeah, nope, we're all set. We got it.
I do that at the gym. It's like, oh, do I need to like pay for the next month? Nope, I got it. I'll just go get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if you think you're gonna get away with anything, good fucking luck.
Yep.
Because without me giving them my bank info, money was put into my bank account. That being said, sometimes they're not gonna get around to it because the first 2 came by paper.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it just took them, like I said, it took them a year to streamline their process.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It took them a year, not they chose to take a year.
Right, right.
Yeah, they were just figuring it out,
Yeah,
Team of accountants, forensic accountants.
yeah. Yeah, you can't beat the federal government. So my final thought is, you don't, all right, so I'll throw this one out there. So the talk I said earlier, like having random fucking thoughts, like while I drive in the car, like your shower thoughts and shit like that. The other day, I had a random fucking thought pop into my head while I was driving on the highway, and it was: do you think you can get your own personal car sponsored, like in NASCAR? So what my whole thought process behind it is, like, most people have a car payment, right? So say your car payment is $400 a month. That is a very expensive car, but let's just play the game
That's
here.
not that unreasonable.
Yeah. Let's say your car payment is $400 a month. Could you call up Allstate or Lowe's or Home Depot and say, hey, I want to put your company's logo on my car for advertising. Will you pay me $200 a month to do that? And then you do that, and now you receive $200 a month. So now theoretically, your car payment is only $200 a month. And then maybe you call a different company and say, hey, I want to throw your company's logo on the back of my car. You know, you sell ad space on your car. Can you sell ad space on your personal car is what I thought of and what I wondered if it was possible.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
How do I do that?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
You probably don't. Well, so put it to you this way. You can get magnets made that just go on the door,
Yeah.
and there's nothing illegal about that.
Right.
So if I got a bunch of magnets made up from the gym, I could go to you and say, hey, slap this on the side of your car, and I'll give you your $200 a month. There's nothing against that or wrong with that.
Right.
You don't need commercial plates for that.
Right.
It's just like putting a bumper sticker on the car.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just traditionally, people don't put bumper stickers on their driver door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like usually you just don't see that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just ad space.
Yeah.
But how do you get that? I don't know. No one's willing to do that.
I'm willing to do that.
No,
Oh,
but
you
like-
mean businesses?
No, why would Lowe's give you money to like?
Well, it's one of those things too where I thought about where I drive so much because and then you go to them and because that could be part of the negotiation. And you say, I drive 35,000 miles a year. So that is, and you could break it down with, you'd have to look at traffic flow in your state. And then that's technically, 35,000 miles a year is whatever. 1.7 million cars that I drive by in a year. So that's 1.7 million people that are going to see your sticker. And then you play the game from there. So then it's like, all right, so give me $200 a month. Like that could be part of the negotiation thing.
No, I understand how. I'm not understanding like why would Lowe's need your car to advertise?
I don't know.
They don't.
Well, then, yeah, but then like you wouldn't, like I just thought of like random things.
No, it would have to be
Like if you found like a smaller place, like an Ace Hardware or like, you know what I mean? Like a smaller company.
Yeah, you could. I mean, again, there's nothing against it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't see it as being a wise advertisement source. Because the other thing too, so let's just say it's Dan's Hardware,
Yeah.
Mansfield, Mass.
Yep.
And we make a magnet for the side of the car. And it says Dan's Hardware. Is it going to say Mansfield, Mass on it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
have a phone number.
And it's going to have the phone number.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, truthfully, it doesn't matter how many cars you drive by because that ad does nothing. Because it's too fast to get the phone number or even to get the town, potentially. Because by the time someone sees Dan's Hardware, you might be gone. So really, it's about where are you parking.
No, I mean, you see shit on the highway. You're in traffic on the highway.
Okay, traffic. I'll give you traffic.
If you're all driving roughly the same speed on the highway,
Yep.
you can see you have plenty of.
So in Massachusetts,
You're stopped at a red light.
So in Massachusetts, people supposed to be using their phones.
People do it anyway.
Okay. Someone gets in a fucking crash. I was using my phone. Well, you're not supposed to do that, right? Oh yeah, but Dan's Hardware had a decal.
Not my problem.
Yeah, it's a Dan's Hardware problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's liability for that.
I mean, you could, but that's also a bullshit excuse because you could do the same thing about a billboard on the side of the highway. Are they going to now start to take down all the billboards on the side of the road? You know what I mean?
Well, they're not gonna.
I mean, I appreciate
but
you vetting
billboard-
the idea.
Well,
but
yeah, but billboards, those have been around forever.
yeah.
So that's like almost like grandfathered in.
So have stickers.
True, but how? Yeah, but you're asking this. If it was
Yeah,
that,
no,
if it
no,
was
I'm
that
just
common,
saying.
if it was that common, we wouldn't be asking this. We would know it.
Well, I think part of it too is that most people don't want stuff on their car.
Yeah, it's just a magnet.
Yeah, where I'm totally down. If you're going to pay me, you can put whatever the fuck you want on the car.
Yeah, you just get a magnet. You don't get an actual decal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was just, like I said, it's random thought that I think would be an interesting idea.
Well, it's possible. I just don't think any businesses are willing to do it.
Yeah. Someone will come up with the idea. Someone, like 3 years from now, we'll see an app where like that's like the normal thing to do now.
Yeah, someone will definitely do it. But even, again, it's...
It could already exist somewhere.
I'm sure someone's doing it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, theoretically, that's what you would think...
Well, it's the whole reason why you put a decal on a work car.
Yeah, so it's free advertising.
Yeah.
Because the car needs to be used for work, but...
Right.
Because that's the other thing, too. Just because you put a decal on a car doesn't mean it's a fucking business expense.
Yeah.
Some people do that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it doesn't matter what the fuck decal's on there. What are you using this for?
Right.
Interesting thought.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, it's possible. Yes, you can do it. I just don't know if anyone will.
Right. Yeah. So, random thought. So that is it for us. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe wherever you're listening, whatever streaming service you're on. Tell everybody you know about the show. And if you're going to keep betting on the March Madness that's going to continue Saturday, go to mybookie.com. When you sign up, use the promo code SarcasmPod. They will match your deposit for 50% up to $1,000 and give you a free play as well. So you can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. That is, again, we're running the tournaments. We're going to keep going. We're going to do a cheese one. Again, big thanks to Nick for setting up that for us. And that'll run hopefully through this coming weekend. I obviously need to put it together. So we'll see how that goes. We are on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks, on Facebook at Sarcasm Speaks. And until next time, good night, everybody.